Now all at first the friends of Diddy were real silent, and definitely on mute. But now the friends are slowly coming out to expose their friend Diddy. It looks like Diddy's empire is starting to crumble faster and harder than a house of cards, because his longtime bestie Mary J. Blige just allegedly snitched on him extra hard to the feds, exposing how Diddy allegedly forced her into FreakOffs, gave her the Cassie treatment, too. According to Mary, Diddy has allegedly been this way for a long time, and she's surprised that it took the law this long to catch up to them. But hold up, because that's not the full story. She's now telling her side of how Diddy has been hiding behind his famous and powerful friends for a long time. But there's a major plot twist here, y'all, because the streets are now saying that the reason for Mary's sudden switch up is that the feds have allegedly linked her to these crimes as well, and that she's allegedly been involved in his messy business for more than 30 years. Even worse, there are reports that she's allegedly going to be charged under Diddy recall charges as well. And this is the reason that she is singing like a canary and snitching on him hard, y'all. Mary JBL has zero intentions of going down with Diddy. She is working with these feds allegedly to send him to prison. Did Mary J. Blige allegedly assay a minor just like Diddy? And why are people saying that she has a secret child with him? I know Mary somewhere thinking I'm tired of all the drama. Well, it's definitely getting clearer each passing day that Diddy aka the Diddler is watching the circle street faster than his faded public image. Let's be real, the image that is plummeting very fast, because those he once counted on as solid allies were belling against him left and right. Jay-Z gone, the Kardashians ultra gone. And now, even Mary J. Blige just jumped ship and bailed on him. Now, Mary J. Blige ditch and Diddy isn't exactly shocking, but the speed of which her switch up was a jaw-dropper, because once the FBI started poking around her boots and eso, just like Jay-Z, Mary had always sworn up and down that she and Diddy will ride or die friends and tight as can be and blah blah blah. But if you thought that Diddy and Jay-Z were tired, Diddy and Mary J. Blige were practically inseparable. They've been tight since back in the early 90s. And Diddy have produced some of her earliest albums, including her debut was the 411. So you do the math, they've been friends for about 33 years. Now, they got friendships older than y'all. KY has always given Mary flowers for being one of the greatest performers and the vocalists of all time. In an interview, he said Mary JBL is one of the greatest storytellers in R&B history. She created a lane for women around the world to speak that truth to power, so nobody deserves the success more than her. More than being my sister and my best friend, she will forever be a pioneer and the queen of hip-hop soul, who remains an unstoppable force that can accomplish anything she sets her mind to. In the late 90s to early 2000s, their friendship hit a rough patch though, and they had a falling out that got messy, and for a couple of years they were locked into a bitter beef, barely even acknowledging each other's existence, and it was a dark time for their friendship. But eventually the truth came out when Mary J. Blige stepped up and took the blame, admitting that she was the one who let things spiral out of control. She owned up to being a total mess back then, unable to keep her act together, let alone maintain a solid relationship with Diddy. It was a humbling moment, but it marked the beginning of their journey back to each other's good RCs. Mary said, the reason we split up is me not understanding the business the way I needed to understand it at the time. She explained, he had a label, he had a female artist, he had Biggie, but during that time, I was really dogging myself. I was a mess on drugs. Any smart man, a businessman, would have moved away from me. It felt like he was becoming distant. But looking back, I now understand why I wasn't delivering properly. I wasn't taking care of my health. So how could he roll his dice on me? Well, after Did, he forgave her. They patched things up and went back to being besties once again. It was all water under the bridge, or so it seemed until now. That is allegedly Mary's pulling a total 180, trying to convince everybody that she and Diddy are not as tight as we all thought. She's out here claiming she burned that bridge ages ago. But yo, what's the 411, hun? I mean, timing is kind of sketchy if you ask me. People are side-eyeing her, thinking that she's just trying to distance herself from Diddy now that his whole world's upside down. I mean, he's getting hit with lawsuits left and right, accused of some serious stuff. And now the feds are poking around with RICO charges. It's like this Diddy situation has got him in a hot seat made of lava, hot lava. But that's not all, because anyone even remotely linked to him is getting a front row seat to the FBI's investigation. And trust me, when the feds coming knocking, they're not playing around. But after the raid on Diddy's line, Miami House's Homeland Security released a statement saying earlier today Homeland Security investigations New York executed law enforcement actions as a part of an ongoing investigation with assistance from HSI Los Angeles, HSI Miami, and our local law enforcement partners. However, Diddy's liars slammed the feds and claimed that it was just a witch hunt. They released a statement that said this unprecedented ambush paired with an advanced coordinated media presence leads to a premature rush to judgment of Mr. Combs and is nothing more than a witch hunt based on meritless accusations made in civil lawsuits. There has been no finding of criminal or civil liability with any of these allegations. Mr. Combs is innocent and will continue to fight every single day to clear his name. But the fans weren't messing around when it came to Diddy. They were swooping in and detaining people close to him left and right. His own sons Justin and Christian found themselves in cuffs and were under detention during the raid. But not just them, 2 of his trusted assistants got arrested as well. And as if that wasn't bad enough, his alleged supplier Brendan Paul got arrested at Miami International Airport for having stuff that he shouldn't have. It was like a storm brewing, and everybody could feel it. The RICO charges were looming, hanging heavy in the air. And listen, Mary JBL wasn't blind to it. She could see the writing on the wall just as clearly as everybody else close to him. She didn't waste any time. And she posted a cryptic message on Instagram saying, "Unfortunately, a lot of you all met me when I lacked boundaries. It was a people pleaser. Let me reintroduce myself. I burn bridges as needed." But let's face it, nobody is trying to catch no RICO case besides rumors have been swirling for ages about how Mary J. Blige was allegedly given the Cassie treatment by Diddy. Well, allegedly Diddy wasn't exactly gentle with her. Reports claimed that he would put hands on Mary and even forced her into using a strap-on for his pleasure. You're not the queen of hip-hop soul. There was also talk about how Mary got pregnant by Diddy, but he didn't want it and forced her to get rid of it. This alleged incident allegedly traumatized her so badly that she decided to never have children of her own. After that, she hinted this in an interview where she said, "I have nieces and nephews forever, and I'm always watching how people are scrambling for babysitters. I don't want to go through that. I like my freedom to go and move and do what I want to do. I don't want to have to tend to someone all the time. Right now, that's where I'm at. But I don't think it's having kids going to happen." But then she continued to be friends with Diddy even after he did all that alleged stuff. So what's this new sudden switch up? A word on the street says that the feds have been connecting her to Diddy. They allegedly uncovered evidence of something seriously shady as she did back in the day, which is why Mary went into panic mode and switched it up on Diddy. Allegedly, the feds are threatening to include her in a RICO charge if she doesn't snitch on Diddy and tell them what she knows. And they are also threatening to bring her up on SAW charges. Now, for those of you who don't know, Mary J. Blige had an intimate relationship with singer Blige when he was 16 and she was just 24. Danny recently talked about in an interview reminiscing about the first time they got close back in '95, right after the Source Awards. He recalled how he and Mary J. Blige, along with a few others like Diddy's baby mama Misa Helton, were invited to a party. According to Danny, they all kicked it together, having a few drinks and soaking in the vibes before he decided to call it a night and head back to his room. But just when he thought the night was winding down, he got a call to another room claiming there was someone eager to meet him. But when got there, he found only Mary and Misa chilling inside. Now, at first, the friends of Diddy were real silent and definitely on mute. But now the friends are slowly coming out to expose their friend Diddy. It looks like Diddy's empire is starting to crumble faster and harder than a house of cards, because his longtime bestie Mary J. Blige just allegedly snitched on him extra hard to the feds, exposing how Diddy allegedly forced her into FreakOffs, gave her the Cassie treatment. Too, according to Mary, Diddy has allegedly been this way for a long time, and she's surprised that it took the law this long to catch up to them. But hold up, because that's not the full story. She's now telling her side of how Diddy has been hiding behind his famous and powerful friends for a long time. But there's a major plot twist here, y'all, because the streets are now saying that the reason for Mary's sudden switch up is that the feds have allegedly linked her to these crimes as well, and that she's allegedly been involved in his messy business.